Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into what might just be the next giant leap for AI. We've all seen AI that can write and AI that can see, right? But what happens when an AI can do all of that and more all at the same time? Well, that's where we get multimodal AI, and we're going to break it all down.
You know, for the longest time, we've basically been talking to AI through a keyhole. We type a question, it types back an answer. We feed it an image, it tells us what it sees. And that's pretty amazing, but it's also really limited. It's like trying to understand the world with only one of your senses active at a time.
So here's the big question. What if an AI could experience the world more like us? Not just by reading text, but by seeing and hearing and actually connecting all those dots together in real time. That idea right there is the core promise of multimodal AI.
And this chart, well, it lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got your unimodal AI. Think of it as a specialist. It's great with text, or images, or sound. But it's always or. On the other side is the future, multimodal AI. It's not just using one sense, it's using them all at once, processing text, images, and sound together to get a much richer picture of what's going on.
Okay, so let's get a bit more specific. What exactly is multimodal AI when we get down to it? Let's go for a straightforward definition. At its heart, multimodal AI is about handling different types of data, what we call modes, all at once. So we're talking about text, pictures, sounds, you name it. And the magic word here is simultaneously. This isn't an AI just switching tasks really fast. It's an AI that understands how a picture, a sentence, and a sound all relate to each other at the very same moment.
Probably the easiest way to wrap your head around this is to just think of an AI with senses. It's not just reading the words in an email, it's also seeing the photo you attached, and maybe even understanding the tone of your voice in the audio clip you sent with it. It's finally getting the full story, you know?
So that's the big idea. But how does an AI with senses actually work in the real world? Let's walk through a couple of examples to really see it in action.
And believe it or not, you've probably already used a simple version of this technology without even realizing it. I mean, if you've ever pointed your phone's camera at a landmark or a plant to figure out what it is, well, you've already had a little taste of multimodal AI.
So here's the breakdown. You give it two different kinds of input, the image of the flower and your text question, what is this? The AI doesn't look at them separately. It processes them together, linking your words to the pixels in the photo. And the output isn't just a generic tag like flower. It's a direct, useful answer to your specific question because it understood both inputs as one single request. Okay, so identifying a flower is pretty cool. But the true power here, the real reason this is so exciting, is when we move from simple questions to solving complex real-world problems. I want you to picture this. You're stranded, side of the road, flat tire. You pull out your phone, snap a photo of the flat, and you just ask out loud, what do I do? Now, the AI gets the image. It sees the flat tire, but it also gets your voice command. It hears your question, the urgency. It then combines both of those things to give you a genuinely helpful answer, a step-by-step guide with diagrams on how to fix that exact problem. I mean, that's a whole other level of useful. And this goes so far beyond just helping with a flat tire. This ability to blend different streams of information isn't just an upgrade, it's a total game changer, and it's already beginning to shake up some huge industries. Just take a look at these applications. In healthcare, an AI could look at an MRI scan and read the doctor's typed notes to spot something a human might miss. For self-driving cars, it's about constantly fusing data from cameras, radar, and maps to make split-second decisions that are safer than human ones. And for shopping, you could just show it a picture of a friend's sofa and say, find me one like this, but in green. It's just so much more intuitive.
When you boil it all down, all of these incredible applications point to one huge benefit: a much deeper, more context-rich understanding of the world. And you can see from this chart, it's not just about being a little faster or more efficient. The biggest slice of the pie is contextual awareness. That awareness leads to better problem solving and, of course, interactions that feel a lot more natural and, well, human.
All right, so as exciting as all of this is, we're not exactly living in a sci-fi movie yet. Building an AI that can truly see, hear, and understand like we do comes with some pretty massive challenges that we still have to figure out.
First off, this stuff is just mind-bendingly complex. You can't just staple a vision model to a language model and call it a day. It requires building brand new, incredibly sophisticated systems from the ground up. Then there's the data problem. You need gigantic, high-quality data sets where images, text, and audio are already linked together. And that's super rare and expensive.
And what about interpretation? How does an AI decide whether to trust what it's seeing more than what it's reading? And finally, if there's bias in your text data and bias in your image data, combining them can actually make the bias even worse.
So, the big takeaway here is that while the potential is absolutely massive, we have to remember we're still in the very early days. This technology is incredibly powerful for sure, but it's still evolving, and there's a long road ahead to get it right.
And that really leaves us with one final fascinating thought to chew on. As we continue to give AI more and more senses, it will inevitably start to notice patterns and connections in the world that are completely invisible to us. So the real question isn't just what it can do, but what will it perceive that we can't? Thanks for watching.